I'm a coffee nut and maybe even a wee bit of a coffee snob. I start the day with a double espresso, then there's often another one mid-morning or a decaf espresso late in the day or after supper. I'm Erin from TechGadgetsCanada.com, and I've recently been experimenting a lot with Nespresso pods, and I've been trying out different Nespresso machines to see what each one offers. Today I'm looking at the Nespresso by DeLonghi Lattissima One. This machine differs from some other Nespresso machines out there in that this one will also steam milk automatically, and it means you can make lattes, cappuccinos, or espresso macchiato. It uses the Nespresso original pods. I got to spend a couple of weeks with the Nespresso by DeLonghi Lattissima One. I'll tell you all about my experience with it, what it does well, what it does not do as well, how it works overall, and I'll cover all those pros and cons, like I said, after having it here in my home for an extended period of time. An early heads up, if you end up liking this video and finding it helpful, to please hit that like button and do subscribe. Those things help me keep making more videos for everyone out there to watch, enjoy, and learn from. Let's take a quick tour of the machine. There's a big 1 liter or 34-ounce low-profile water tank in the back. Around the front, there's a movable riser and drip tray and a pod receptacle in behind. The milk cup is also removable. Out of the box, this machine will brew a 1.3-ounce single shot or a nearly 4-ounce luongo. You can adjust the default sizes of your shots if you want to. Check out my video here on the channel about exactly how to do that. The setup of this machine is virtually non-existent. Plug it in and power it on. It's pretty much ready to go immediately. The kit I got also included a sample pack of Nespresso capsules, which was a nice way to try out some different coffees. When it comes to the specs, this machine gives you 19 bars of pressure from its high-pressure pump. Let's take a look at what's involved in brewing your coffee. Making an espresso is as simple as turning the machine on and waiting for it to heat up, which takes about 20 seconds. I'm impressed with how fast this is. And if you're heating up milk for your morning latte, that takes about another 15 seconds, and we'll get to the milk-based drinks in just a sec. So pop in the capsule, close the lid, and then choose your size. My single shot brews up in about 15 seconds, and a double takes only about 25. One of the things I like about Nespresso machines is that the espresso comes out nice and thick. It's not watery, and it ends up with a nice crema on top, and it's actually good and hot, definitely hot enough for me. Now let's move on to the milk drinks. As I noted earlier, this machine will make only 3 milk-based drinks. There's a latte, cappuccino, or espresso macchiato. It also won't work with alt milks and is only designed to work with cow's milk. The milk container is labeled and will show you how much milk to add for each drink. Now you have to add the right amount manually, and it'll use all the milk in the jug, so it's up to you to measure correctly. The operation of the machine when adding milk drinks is basically foolproof. When you add the milk, it'll heat the milk first, then add that to your cup, then pour in the espresso. When it comes to the heat level and the foam, I was not impressed at all. The milk is basically warm, certainly not hot, and there's really not any foam to speak of. While this machine will warm and dispense milk, that is basically it. In my opinion, the milk features of this machine are not worth it. I think you'd be better off with a straight up espresso maker and a different milk solution. I took the temperature of the milk right out of the spout, and it topped out at about 125 Fahrenheit. Most baristas would tell you the ideal milk temperature is between 155 and 165 Fahrenheit. There is an automatic milk cleanup feature, but this too is lacking. The machine will rinse the milk jug for you with hot water if you press the milk button after it's done with the drink and you've ejected the capsule. But the water gets everywhere, spilling out over the drip tray. You'll also need to finish the cleanup of the jug either by hand or by putting the pieces in the dishwasher. From what I can tell about this machine and other Nespresso machines, you can't adjust the brew temperature or the water temperature. It comes from the factory set to about 83 to 86 degrees or so, according to Nespresso. Now, Nespresso says it's not supposed to be a hot, super hot beverage anyway. They aim to make it come out of the machine at a hot but drinkable temperature so you can have your espresso right away. And the company recommends that if it's not hot enough for you, you can preheat your cup. Some folks might not appreciate that you can't adjust the water temperature, but I was definitely okay with the factory setting when it came to the espresso. Other features worth making note of, there's an automatic shutoff to save energy, and the water tank holds enough water for more than 17 doubles before it needs to be refilled. You can use the cup riser or remove it to brew a bigger cup, and the pod bin will hold about 10 discarded pods. All the pieces are washable. This Nespresso machine is actually a pretty quiet brewer, and you could easily make your morning coffee without waking up anyone else in the house. I've talked in other reviews about the environmental impact of coffee pods, so I'll just recap quickly here. Nespresso does have a pod recycling program, and they will even pay the shipping. Pods, when it comes to their cost, for you, cost about 70 cents to $1 per pod, which I find pretty reasonable, especially given coffee shop prices. When it comes to the overall coffees and their tastes, I think there's a lot to enjoy. I find the coffees packaged in their little cups to be fresh and with a huge number of different roasts, tastes, flavors, and options. You're probably going to find something you love. Bottom line here, for me, the coffee is really good. Overall, there's some things I like about this machine, and there are some pretty major downsides. It's small for a coffee and milk capable device, and I really like the white color option and the modern sleek design, which helps it blend into my kitchen better. I also love the huge 1-liter water tank. The espresso it makes is delicious, hot and thick with a nice crema, and I love that I can customize the sizes of the drinks so it's perfect for me. If there are any downsides to this machine, for some, it might be that you can't adjust that water temperature, but for me, I didn't find it an issue. No, for me, the biggest downside is the lackluster milk heating and foaming. If you drink cappuccino, you're really not getting them from this machine. There is really no foam to speak of. You're really just getting different amounts of warm milk. I also really felt the automatic cleanup feature left a lot to be desired. If you want a top quality espresso machine, this machine works, but the high cost of having the milk system added into it, which doesn't perform, means I'm not going to recommend this machine. Instead, I would choose something like the Nespresso Pixie or the Nespresso Essenza Mini. You can see both of those reviews, by the way, right here on the channel. The Breville Nespresso Lattissima One sells for about 449 Canadian dollars, though I have seen it for less. If you want to read this review or reference any of what I've talked about, head over to techgadgetscanada.com where I've got a full write-up. There you can ask me any questions you have about this machine or any other Nespresso machines. You can also post your questions here in comments. Did this video help you? If it did, please mash that like button and consider becoming a subscriber. Both of those things do help me keep making more videos that I hope everyone out there gets to watch, enjoy, and learn from. I'm Erin. Thanks so much for watching this video. Until the next time, you can find me on either Twitter or Instagram. I'm at ErinLYYC. You can also always catch me through Facebook at facebook.com/TechGadgetsCanada.